On the show, in Wheelspin, we drive the Range Rover Sport. Going in style, we travel to Goa and ride the big Harleys at the India Bike Week. On the road, we drive the Mercedes E-Class to Bhandardara.
They say a man is known by the car he drives. And if you're in the market for something like this, there's a very good chance that your friends call you Mr. Moneybags. You see, the Range Rover Sport costs about 1.1 crore rupees ex-showroom New Delhi, and that's just for the base version. But the HSC variant that you got here, well, this comes loaded with all the options and costs about 1.43 crore rupees ex-showroom Delhi. Now, for that kind of money, you could easily get a decent-sized flat in the city. So is it really worth all the cash? With respect to styling, what you get is a mix between the Evoque and the Range Rover. The stubby look of the Range Rover has been given a sporty makeover with a raked front end, flared wheel arches, and a sloping roofline that dips into the rear end of the car. Well, let's not forget that we're driving a Range Rover, and this car has been designed to be as good off the road as it is on the road. But the only thing is that this car costs quite a bit, and I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be the kind to take this car off the road. Now, the interiors of this car are a very nice place to be, especially when you're paying the amount of money that you are. The minute you step inside, well, you can't help but feel delighted at the luxury and the quality of materials that is provided over here. You have this very nice perforated leather steering wheel, perforated leather seats, with a sport-like feel because you've got this extra bolstering on the side. This is the sport model after all. It does have the power, so when you actually put the pedal to the metal and it throws you around corners, well, this is going to make sure that you stay in place. Now, moving on to the interiors, well, you see that it's got this very nice brushed aluminium feel, and even the dash itself, well, it's got this very nice soft touch leather. It does really feel that every bit premium that you would expect from a car in this particular segment. The 3-litre V6 diesel engine puts out about 288 brake horsepower at 4000 RPM and a maximum torque of 600 Nm at a relatively early 2000 RPM. That makes the Sport pretty rapid with 0 to 100 times in the neighborhood of about 7 seconds. But what surprised me most is, in spite of being pushed hard, the engine remains relatively quiet, refined and unobtrusive. Now, if you're power hungry, there's even a supercharged 5-litre V8 with 503 brake horsepower, which will get you to 100 km per hour in about 5 seconds. Now, we have the Range Rover Sport HSC with us, and this particular one comes with a 3-litre V6 diesel engine. Well, all that's very good on paper, but how does it actually translate into the real world? Let's just find out. We've got the steering mounted paddle controls over here through which we can shift the gears in the 8-speed gearbox. Drop a few cogs down and the car just takes off like its pants are on fire. In spite of the power and everything, let's not forget this is a Range Rover. It's not a sports car. Even though it has a sport moniker, it is designed to be pretty comfortable. And that is very obvious when you're cruising down the highway. Even when you take your foot off the gas, the car just settles into a nice rhythm, absorbs all the bumps because it's got a very nice and sophisticated air suspension system. Now, the entertainment system that's mounted on the central console over here, well, features an 8-inch touchscreen. So it's pretty easy to navigate through the various settings and folders and get to exactly where you want. The system itself features a 19-speaker Meridian sound system, and that should sound pretty good. Let's listen, should we?
One morning, One lonely Sunday morning, her long hair blowing in the midwinter wind.
The interiors are a comfortable place to be with premium materials and classy minimalistic styling. A soft, supple ride thanks to the adjustable air suspension system which soaks up all the bumps and provides that nice cushioning effect and make it perfect for our roads. The premium feel is further highlighted by the well-insulated interiors that keep the outside noise where it belongs, outside. The Range Rover Sport, well, it does make you feel kinda special. It has all the bells and the whistles, and the way that they're neatly integrated into this plush minimalistic cabin gives it that premium feel that customers in this segment are so often looking for, especially in a car costing as much as this one does. It's supremely comfortable, has adequate amounts of power, and makes a statement with its presence on the road. At the end of the day, isn't that what this segment's all about? You know what they say, a man is known by the car he drives.
India Bike Week, as the name suggests, is about motorcycles. You will find everything here from production bikes, vintage bikes, to some seriously customized motorcycles. And there are events which will gladden anybody who loves motorcycling. There are serious burnouts and, of course, stunts of the highest level. So this is the place to be if you are a biker. The India Bike Week started in Goa in 2013 with a simple idea: to get bikers from across India to assemble at one platform and do just one thing: motorcycling. The Bike Week, true to its name, essentially remains just that. Bikers and motorcycles ride into Goa from different parts of the country to spend a few happy days with fellow bikers and share everything that is related to biking. The main backers for the Bike Week, as to be expected, is a motorcycling company, Harley-Davidson. And this year there were many bikers who came here to be together for the Bike Week held from January 17 to 18. The atmosphere was electric as the bikers rode in on anything with two wheels. From the giant Harleys to modest 150cc machines to hugely customized ones. The riders started arriving on day one, and by the end of day one could still hear the heavy drone of one machine after another as they checked in at the venue. Biking was in the air, and one could literally smell it as the air filled up with exhaust smoke and burning rubber. And the biking fraternity began their celebrations the bikers' way. Harley-Davidson took this opportunity to spend some time with their family of dealers and riders, with the MD of the company, Anup Prakash, taking center stage in felicitating the chapters and riders who contributed the maximum to the cause of motorcycling in India. This is the CEO of motorcycles. I am here in Goa and this is the beginning of the India Bike Week. And what you see here is a mini Sturgis. Motorcycles, motorcycles and more motorcycles. And these are all Harley-Davidson and the riders who have come from across India to be part of this ride. There are about 1,000 riders who will be riding here in Goa today. And I'm going to be part of them. Day 2 started with the ride of the largest assembly of motorcycles in India till date. Over 1,000 Harleys rode into life as the Commissioner of Police in Goa waved the white flag down to indicate the start of the rally.
Well, you know, Harley's been involved with India Bike Week from day one. You know, we were part of the group that conceived of the event. And for us, it was all about promoting all the great things about motorcycling and biking. You know, so whether you're a Harley owner, an Enfield owner, a BMW owner, a Ducati owner, a Bajaj owner, you can come here, you can celebrate motorcycling, you can celebrate your passion with like-minded people. And so India Bike Week's just become a great festival. You know, last year we had 600 Harleys. This year we had about 1,200 Harleys here. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. And I think next year is only going to be bigger and better.
As the big machines weaved their way in and out of the scenic Goa roads, it was a day for the enthusiasts who had possibly never seen such a jamboree of bikes to wave and gape in admiration as the machines rode out of sight. I got the feeling that finally motorcycling is catching on in India, and the Goa ride will go a long way in making it popular. For the riders who had come from different parts of the country, it was an opportunity to bond together and form a family of like-minded people for whom being on the bike was a reason to celebrate. And celebrate they did as the day unfolded.
Well, I had a lot of fun riding this Harley Softail through the streets of Goa with my fellow Harley riders. But now it's time for me to park the bike and take a look as to what is happening at the India Bike Week here.
The Bike Week had a crowded itinerary as events were planned to give everyone present a taste of motorcycling. And this included events like the loudest bike competition, which is a simple enough concept. The loudest customized bike won the competition. Obviously, it is not something we would recommend as noise pollution is fairly high in our cities. But for a tranquil location like Goa, and for a few minutes, it even sounded like fun. If bikers are around, then can one avoid burnouts? No way. And this was the next competition where one would have to burn the rubber off as completely as possible to become the winner. And now it was time to enthrall everyone with some serious riding, and this team from MRF did just that. And in the process took our breath away as they literally flew off the ramp. Extremely serious stunts which we will strongly caption as "don't try it at home", as these riders are not only capable with years of training behind them, but also in machines which are capable of this. Harley-Davidson, of course, took this opportunity to showcase their product lineup and, interestingly, what will be coming this following year. And this includes the Street 750, a machine which might change the image and positioning of the Harley brand of motorcycles, as the Street 750 would be a light motorcycle meant for city riding as well.
Well, this is it from the India Bike Week in Goa. Plenty of action, lovely bikes, lovely people, and if you have missed it this time, make sure you are here next year around the same time. See you then.
If your idea of a holiday is to seek solace in the hills and enjoy the company of your car, well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to On the Road. I'm Kim Jagtiani. For a dose of greenery, clean air and natural beauty, I'm going to head northeast of Mumbai and explore rural Maharashtra. I've heard Bandardara has a special charm, and a drive via Malsej Ghat is going to be spectacular. As I merged through the traffic and got onto NH3, I could already feel the stress of city life falling behind as I drove towards a feeling of freedom. From Powai, I drove towards Thane and planned to take a right at Bhiwandi, heading towards Malsej Ghat via Kalyan on NH222. 150 kilometers in about 3 hours sounded perfect. Plus, this would mark the halfway point to Bandardara. Armed with one of the world's great saloons, the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, I had a feeling this was going to be one memorable journey. As smooth and comfortable as velvet is the new Mercedes E-Class, which was launched in the middle of last year. The E200 defines the premium sector by being quiet and supremely balanced on road. The interior has a snug feel and an understated restraint which reflects style and taste. Yes, there's something really special about being behind the wheel of a three-pointed star. Part saloon, part executive express, the E200 gives a good feel with what's happening on the road. Now that I'm on the highway, the 7-speed transmission is settled and smooth and ready to do just what I want. Even though it was winter, there was a canopy of green all around. The roads opened up into a refreshing drive. The drive up here has been beautiful enough. I've reached hotels, which seems to be the perfect spot to stop, freshen up, grab a bite before continuing on to Malsej Ghat, which is about 12 kilometers from here. Malsej Ghat was beyond what I had imagined. Although recommended as a spot, especially during the monsoons, I loved the beauty of the mountains set against the backdrop of a clear blue sky. 5 kilometers long and blocking the plain waters of Pushpavati River was this dam with its lofty cliffs and vast expanse of gorgeous blues. Just 3.5 hours outside of Mumbai and you're hit with the magic of Malsej Ghat, a place of towering peaks and bottomless valleys. Now that I've got my first glimpse of the backwaters of the Pimplegaon Joga Dam, I'm left almost speechless. It feels so good to get out of the city and get back to nature. En route towards Bandardara, I took a quick detour and walked through the market at Lenyadri, where a temple of Ganesh Ji is honored by devotees. A waterfall always makes for a good stop. The roaring river Pravara descends down from a height of 170 feet into a beautiful gorge and is said to be exceptionally beautiful during the rains. Randa Falls, however, is great to visit all year round. After spending hours on the road and with another 10 kilometers to go, it feels good to just get out and soak in some fun and get a taste of some local flavor at Randa village just above Randa Falls. Bandardara is a holiday resort village located in the Ahmednagar district of Maharashtra.
sitting near the highest peak in the Sahyadri range, Mount Kalsubai, as well as Pravara River, Bhandardara is a blend of natural beauty and pristine ambience. Now that I had arrived, my first stop was Arthur Lake. Bound by a landscape filled with thick canopied forests, the clear and tranquil Arthur Lake gets its waters from Pravara River.
Bhandardara is a refreshing break for both the active and not so active traveler. For nature lovers, an experience like this must top the list. What could be better than sitting back, relaxing and gazing dreamily out over Arthur Lake, nestled in the Sahyadri Hills.
As I continued to explore, I passed Wilson Dam, which was built in 1910 and is one of the oldest dams in India. Serene and tranquil, this was just what I wanted my weekend getaway to be.
As you cruise out of the maddening rush of Mumbai, keep the accelerator pressed down and head straight towards the solitude of the hills. Surrounded by panoramic views and amazing bird life, it almost feels as if I have this place all to myself. And to be on the road with the E200 was nothing short of brilliant. See you next time.